Welcome, tributes. We welcome you.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and we are still cranking away during early access. I wanted to make sure to get this deck out to you as soon as possible because I think it's absolutely bananas, and you're probably going to see it everywhere pretty quick. This one's called Sickest Sibsig, and the idea is it's a Sibsig Ceremony combo deck where we're able to just storm off with a bunch of free creatures that get us value, and then play Stormscale Scion to make a whole bunch of Storm copies, and the Storm copies don't die to the Sibsig Ceremony. It's absolutely insane. So many creatures in this deck get us value, draw us cards, come out for ridiculously low amounts of mana, and you just have to see it to believe it. I even made Iridescent Tiger work, and I promised you guys during spoiler season that I would find a way to break that card, and I think we got pretty close to it. Maybe not break it, but we got pretty close. The card's absolutely nuts in this list. Before we check out the games, we're going to break down the deck, and before that, please like this video. It helps me get it out to so many more people, and subscribe if you're new, because I have a ton of crazy deck techs from early access still on the way. Also, I've been feeling kind of under the weather, so I apologize if my voice is a little weird during this video, but I'm doing my best to get these decks out to you ASAP immediately, because you have to see them. They're just crazy. Also, be sure to catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/quarantinedcapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. Now, let's check out this deck. Alright, so this deck is pretty wild. This is a Sibsig Ceremony combo deck, sort of, but what's cool about this deck is it doesn't necessarily need to pull off the combo to win. Your cards are just good at putting a lot of aggression, a lot of pressure on your opponent regardless of Sibsig. So sometimes, even when you don't pull off the Sibsig Ceremony combo, you can still just kind of get wins out of nowhere through a bunch of hasty dudes or just a bunch of value that you've built up on the field, which I think is really cool. You don't a lot of times get that plan B with a lot of combo decks. But the core of the combo revolves around a new card called the Sibsig Ceremony, which is a 3-mana legendary enchantment for 3 black mana. It is very mana intensive, so you have to be very careful with how many colors you play. Almost all of your lands need to make black mana, unfortunately, in order to play this. So it is a little bit tricky to build around. You have to keep that in keep that in your mind. Creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. That's every creature spell you play for the rest of the game, which is crazy. Whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast it, destroy that creature, and then create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. So a couple things I want to point out about that. It destroys the creature, it doesn't make you sacrifice the creature. So anything that has protection from black, or indestructible, or anything like that, will survive with the Sibsig Ceremony, and you'll still get the 2/2, and you still got the cost reduction. We're not utilizing those synergies in this deck, which is why I wanted to get that out of the way first, but it is a cool way we could maybe use this in a future deck, so keep your eyes peeled for that. The other thing that's really important to notice about that is when your stuff dies and gives you the 2/2, it's still going to trigger our good friend Enduring Courage. A 3/3 enchantment creature, Dog Glimmer, for 2 red and 2, which can come down for just 2 red if we have the Sibsig Ceremony out. Immediately dies to the Sibsig Ceremony, gives us a 2/2 zombie, but then comes back as the non-creature version of the card. So all of our creatures will get +2/+0 and haste from that point on, including all of the zombie tokens that we're making, which is kind of insane in and of its own right. But then we go even further. What if we can just play a bunch of spells in one turn because of this crazy cost reduction, and then play out a Stormscale Scion, which is a 4/4 flying dragon that buffs up all of your dragons by +1/+1 for a whopping 6 mana, and it has Storm. So it can come out for only 4 mana if we have the Sibsig Ceremony out. And what's cool about Storm is all of the Storm copies that we make don't count as a creature that we cast. And the Sibsig Ceremony only destroys creatures that we control that entered if we cast it. So if we can storm off with the Stormscale Scion, we get a whole bunch of copies of the Stormscale Scion that buff each other and don't get sacrificed to the Sibsig Ceremony, which is kind of insane. And if we do have that Enduring Courage out, all of them are also getting +2/+0 and haste, so we can sometimes come out of nowhere and just swing with an insane amount of damage and just win the game outright. It's the combo we're trying to aim at, but you're probably asking yourself, how do we enable it? How are we able to play a whole bunch of spells in the same turn that we play a Stormscale Scion? It seems like it's probably too many hoops to jump through. But because we get the cost reduction from the Sibsig Ceremony, which is a 2 colorless mana cost reduction, that means sometimes we can play stuff for free. We have 4 copies of Scrapwork Mutt, which can come down for free. We discard a card and draw a card so we can potentially gas up while we're doing it. And it just triggers our Sibsig Ceremony. It counts as a spell played for the storm count. All of that stuff. Also, it's just really good while we're curving out because it's a nice blocker we can just throw in front of our opponent's aggro deck or whatever. That also digs 1 card deeper for the Sibsig Ceremony, tries to find it for us if we don't have it yet, or maybe the Stormscale Scion if we do, or maybe try to find the Enduring Courage, whatever the case may be. So it's very versatile in this deck. And in similar fashion, we have Marketback Walker. Marketback Walker can be played for 0 mana, just like the Scrapwork Mutt. But it comes in with 1/1/1 counter because it technically got the 2 cost reduction, immediately dies to the Sibsig Ceremony, draws us a card, and makes a 2/2. So it's pretty nuts just as a free spell to add to our storm count and give us a bunch of value. But it can also be played for just a bunch of mana to draw us a bunch of cards. If we have a Sibsig Ceremony out, and then we drop a land on our next turn, we just pay 4 mana to technically play a 3/3 Marketback Walker as if we had paid 6. Since we get the cost reduction, it immediately dies, draws us 3 cards, and gives us a 2/2. So we draw 3, we get a 2/2, we potentially trigger the Enduring Courage so that we can attack with that 2/2 as a 4/2 with haste, and it just kind of does everything we want. So it's another thing we can cast for free to storm off with Stormscale Scion. It's something that can refill our hand later on in the game if we're out of gas, and it's something we could just play early as a 1/1 or 2/2 chump blocker that can hold off aggro and then draw us cards so that we can draw even deeper to find the pieces that we're looking for, which is also pretty insane. We're also running 4 copies of Fear of Missing Out. Now, even with the cost reduction from Sibsig, we're still going to have to spend a mana to play this. But again, this is something that we can play on curve that can dig us closer to our Sibsig and be a decent blocker against aggro. But it's something that after we have the Sibsig out can draw us a card. And if we wait until this is the last card in our hand when we play it, we don't have to discard something, which means we have a chance of drawing into another thing that we can play with the cost reduction from the Sibsig and just kind of keep the chain going. But also, if we happen to have one of these out on 2 before we play the Sibsig Ceremony, it can stick around, and it's very easy to get Delirium turned on in this deck, so sometimes we're going to be able to get an additional attack out of one of our big dragons, or whatever we're swinging with later, from a Fear of Missing Out that we were able to play before Sibsig hit the battlefield, which is super nice. We're also running 3 copies of Tersa Lightshatter. For 1 mana, this lets us discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards, and does all the stuff that we're normally trying to do with this deck anyway. But what's cool about Tersa is if we happen to mill our Sibsig Ceremony early and it's in our graveyard, or if our opponent destroys it, we can just swing with haste with Tersa and exile it and be able to play that from our graveyard by exiling it with Tersa, so we can just get it back. So Tersa has a lot of versatility in all of the different ways we can use her in this deck, and I think she's great. Excuse my cough. I'm sick, but it's early access, so I absolutely can't miss it, so I'm doing my best to just get this stuff out to you guys. I apologize for the coughing, and probably the way my voice sounds as well. A couple other important cards to point out. We've got 4 copies of Overlord of the Balemurk, which if we have a Sibsig Ceremony down, it's another way to get around some of the downsides, because technically if we play it for its impending cost, it will get the cost reduction. We'll only have to pay 1 to cast this, but when it enters, it doesn't count as a creature, it counts as an enchantment entering, so it won't actually get destroyed by Sibsig. So we get the cost reduction, we don't get the zombie, but we also don't lose the Overlord of the Balemurk, so this can just come down early and eventually get us even more value when the last time counter comes off of it. But more importantly, it can find us some of our combo pieces, some of the creatures we're missing, whether it's Enduring Courage or Stormscale Scion or whatever the case may be. The last missing piece of the puzzle is a card that I swore during spoiler season I would find a way to break. And although I don't necessarily think this breaks it, it definitely bends it over sideways and gives it the business. This is Iridescent Tiger. 1 red and 4 for a 3/4 cat. When it enters, if you cast it, you add a WUBRG, 1 mana of every color, to your mana pool. So if we do have the cost reduction from Sibsig Ceremony, we can play this for only 3 mana, get 5 mana back, and then just keep playing out all of the stuff from our hand to make that storm count pop off. So the fact that we can just, with so many different cards in this deck, contribute to our storm count, but also have a secondary use for all of those cards by gumming up the board, slowing down our opponent's aggro decks, and digging us deeper into our deck, or making mana so that we can cast other things to continue to dig deeper into our deck, just adds a ton of value to everything that's in this deck, whether it's before the Sibsig or after the Sibsig. Everything's just kind of multi-use, and I love that about this deck. I think it's kind of bananas. I sort of expect that you'll see it everywhere for a little while, because it's kind of just nuts. You'll see in the games just how crazy it goes off. We're trying to play as many untapped lands as possible, because the only thing that bottlenecks us in this deck is having enough mana to play all the things we want to play before we drop the Stormscale Scion. So we are playing very specific lands. The only lands that come in tapped are the Raucous Theater, but that's because we need to enable the Blackcleave Cliffs. At the same time, we need as many lands as possible to be both black and red, because we need triple black on turn 3 for Sibsig, but we need as much red mana as possible so that after the cost reductions, we can still play all of these other cards that might require some red mana, especially the Stormscale Scion. The last card I didn't point out, Torch the Tower, just some early removal, keep us in the game against aggro, but also we have so many things in this deck, we don't mind sacrificing to the bargain ability and getting to scry a little deeper for the Sibsig Ceremony in the process, so that's really nice too. But this is the deck. You're going to see some absolutely out of nowhere wins. It's insane. We barely lost with this thing. I'm not sure, maybe once or twice in all of the times that we ran it. It was absolutely insane. Let's check out the games. This looks pretty good. We do need one more land, but we get to Surveil to get it. We've already got our Sibsig. We've got some early card draw. We're going to keep this. We're up against MTG Malone. Alright, we want to land. We gotta land. This might end up being brutal. We're gonna go with Overlord. Try to find an Enduring Courage. Oh, there it is. Let's see what you got for me, Maloniac. Does he get a counterspell held up? Am I about to be real mad? Am I about to be real mad? I don't know if I can risk it. I'm gonna play Tersa. I need to slow roll this. We're just gonna discard 1, draw 1. Okay, get lost. But now we've got 2, so even if he counters 1, we should be okay. Monastery. Now we've got 3, oh god. Oh god. Jeskai Waymaster. Coming for you, Maloniac. We got a swamp though, so we can't play our fear of missing out if we play Enduring Courage. That's a bummer. think we gotta do this right now. Discard a Sibsig. Play a land. I don't know if we should torch the tower to kill the Monastery Mentor. I think maybe we should. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna go Scrapwork Mutt. Discard the Sibsig to draw. Attack with the Scrapwork Mutt. Do we kill Narset here? That's the question. We can kill Narset or Monastery Mentor. I think the Monastery Mentor is a bigger threat. And I really want to scry, so I'm going to sacrifice a map token. Fear of missing out. It's not awful, but I don't know if it's good enough. Let's bottom it. So we might just Enduring Courage next turn. We need to draw some cards before we can storm off with Stormscale. No blocks. He's got another Monastery Mentor. I'm pretty sure we can pull ahead here. I'm pretty sure. How ballsy do we get? I think we just do it like this. We gotta save the Stormscale Scion. Discard you, draw another land. Let's crack you on you. Another land. Well, good thing we did that. And let's swing in. We need some gas, man. At least our Overlord is up and functional. We just need a little bit of gas so we can storm off here. I think if we could just get 2 spells before the Stormscale Scion, we'll be good. It's Burst Lightning! I mean, you do you, man. Clearly doesn't have the burn for Overlord if he's hitting a zombie, which I find interesting. Can't really attack through the Overlord. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think we're just gonna literally... Wait. I think we're just literally gonna go for max here. And not worry about the Stormscale Scion this turn. Even though we probably could have won. We could have played this, drew 2 cards off of it. Still had enough mana for the Stormscale Scion. But I don't love it. I don't love it. What do we want to get back? I guess we probably want the Tiger, right? Question is, can he go off and get the win this turn? Narset doesn't have prowess, so that's a boon for us. If he had 3 creatures with prowess right now, it'd be a little bit scary. But having only the 2, I think we'll be okay. Get Lost's the Enduring Courage. Interesting. Doesn't hit the Sibsig. 1, 2. I think we can still pull it off. We can Overlord to get back the courage. I think we can still pull this off. We just have to be very careful. So, Swamp. Overlord. We get back Enduring Courage. We play Enduring Courage. We go Tiger. We just needed to make sure that we had 1 red left over when we Tiger. So that we have the 2 red for Stormscale Scion. Oh baby. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. Goodbye, Malone. Hate to say it, but get out of here. I love that guy, though. I honestly love that guy. Alright, this looks pretty good. We've already got our Sibsig. We've got some stuff to play early. We're going to keep it. 2 Enduring Courages is kind of wild. Probably going to try to save the Marketback Walker until we have the Sibsig down. Gotta keep the land. Pass a turn. Things are about to get wild. Blazemire Verge. Sibsig. And we'll play the Marketback Walker. Draw a card, get a 2/2. Seems pretty good to me. Enduring Courage. Tersa? I think we Enduring Courage Tersa. You got rid of our zombie. Severance Priest. Ooh. Well, at least he can't get rid of our only Enduring Courage because we have 3 of them. Probably gets rid of Tersa. We can play it for just 1 mana. Which is pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Doesn't know what to do, man. Okay, he takes our Tersa. That makes sense, I guess. Let's start with the theater. Let's keep that on top. We'll do this. And then we'll do this. What do we want? I mean, I want the Stormscale Scion, but I think we need the Marketback Walker. And smash! Ooh, we could get -4 cost reduction. and get 2 zombies if we have double Sibsig. That sounds wild. That sounds crazy. I just forgot, Finn. Bandy boy, you are snoring into my microphone. Flesh Gorger, okay. I think he's trying to play the Mardu Siegebreaker. That makes sense. No blocks. No blocks. Let's do this. Because I'm out of my mind. Let's do this. See what we can get. I guess we gotta just keep playing it. I mean, I'd love to just hold on to some stuff to try to go off and storm. Get rid of you. Smash. I think we still kill him, right? Just too much. No, he goes to 1. He goes to 1. He's alive. What a crazy card this is, man. What a crazy card. Ow. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know if it's good enough, but it's pretty good. We have to do it this way, or else we don't have enough mana to play the tiger. Why are you trying to use that? I would rather do this. I would rather do this, I think. Although I would have gotten the haste. Hard to say. Hard to say. Let's get the Stormscale Scion. And I guess let's just play the Stormscale Scion. That should be lights out, right? Guerrilla Radio. Yeah. He didn't even let us attack. This looks like a pretty good opening hand against our buddy MTG Hillbilly. Let's do it. We'll keep 7. We'll start with the theater. Do we keep the land? I think we actually dump the land for now. We need to get to Sibsig as soon as possible. So that's what we take into account. at every single opportunity. Let's do this. Get out of Fear. Fear is actually one of our better creatures to try and keep on the battlefield before getting the Sibsig out, because we could theoretically trigger the Delirium. Hey, there we go. We got the Sibsig, baby, this evening. Did you know? I think we're going to save these for next turn. Actually, you know what? This one we'll play now. Dump the torch, the tower, try to draw into other things. Pass turn. Thank you for the treasure. Fear's got Delirium. Well, now he's toast. Now he is toast. Gold vein pick. Smash us in the face. Well, there's a land. We definitely want this. I think we need to save this for the turn that we played this. So I think we're just done. Yeah, we'll pass the turn. We're setting ourselves up. We've got blockers, which is nice. The Aether Spark. Have you ever sparked an Aether? Good lord. Good lord. I mean, yeah, we'll kill your dude. 100%. You'll go to 9, be able to draw cards. That seems fine. Do this. Scrapwork Mutt. We'll go Marketback Walker for 1. Oopsie. For 1. Sack it. Get a 2/2. 2/2 gets haste and buffs. Draw a card. Oh, I should have sacked that. I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. I needed to discard that land. And I spaced it. I spaced it! I think it's fine, though. Decline. I think we're still fine. Decline. And then we storm off the Stormscale Scion. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Dude, crazy. Minus 20 in 1 turn. I think we want to try to play all the card draw stuff first to find our Sibsig before we start milling with Overlord. We'll keep this. Probably just start with the swamp here. I mean, you do you, Finn. You do you. Alright, Voice of Victory. Do we even want to play these? I think we do. Now that we have this, I think we want to just do this. Grab you. That seems fine. That seems wonderful. Esper. Is this some kind of Esper aggro? Interesting. Alright, time to take our almighty turn off. Oh wait, it's not a turn off. Because we get to do this. Let's discard you. Let's do another one. Let's discard you. Let's do another one. Let's discard you. Another land. Good God. Okay. Naga Flesh Crafter. Very funny, Raven. Very funny. Over here being a comedian. Alright, give me all my mana. Do all my stuff. Let's draw a card. A land. I guess. Guess we'll just swing with some 2/2s. Would you like to double block, sir? No. Okay, gonna double block there. Sure. That's fine. Naga Flesh Crafter. Gonna become another Voice of Victory. I think we want to try to get some value here. Fill up our hand with stuff. Fill up our hand, prepare us for next turn, hopefully. Oh God. That was rough. That was rough, not gonna lie. Smashy. Alright, go to 14, sure. I was right about the lands, though. We don't have any problems with lands, really. Just don't know what this deck's doing. I get it, you're running blue for Naga Flesh Crafter. Probably for the renew. But why? So we take 10 and go to 5. But he's got no blockers. Got no chance. Let's do this. We're only gonna discard one here. Because we're gonna do it again. Iridescent Tiger. You may discard a card. I mean, the problem is the Tiger's not... Tiger's not doing much for us. The Tiger is not doing much for us. I think we gotta save him. No, we have to discard him. Yeah, we're just out of gas. This is difficult now. Let's see. We would take 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, so we have to play this to have enough blockers. We have to play it in order to have enough blockers. And then we get back the Marketback Walker so we can redraw a hand next turn. End the turn. That seems fine. Early access has been wild, Avalan, but I have not been feeling great, so it's been a double-edged sword. It's okay, though. Go for the throat. We still have enough blockers. Should be okay. He has to swing with everything. And we have to block 1-1 with everything. In order to survive. At 1. But we have a lot of dudes for the crackback, right? You scoop before we get to do the thing? Ah, fine. Alright, we're gonna keep this. This looks fine. And yes, the answer is yes to your question, Finn. So we'll start with the theater. We have to find some gas here. Dump the swamp. Cliffs. I guess we'll just Balemurk. But if we hit a Sibsig, I'm going to be really sad. Okay, we didn't. We just hit 3 Enduring Courages. That's fine, I guess. At least we're 4 cards deeper. Closer to our Sibsig now. There's always that. Hey, speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. The problem is we've got all those Torch the Towers in our hand. So, we don't have any of the gas we need to use with the Sibsig. We don't got none of it. We don't got none of it. You get lost in me. How rude. How rude do you have to be to get lost somebody? Part of me wants to Overlord. But I think we'll just do this. Everything's fine. We'll just use our map tokens to start digging for our Sibsig. Could also just play Overlord as a creature. That's good too. Let's do that. Let's do this first, and then we'll use our map tokens. Because we get the haste right now. We'll Marketback Walker, I guess. And we'll smash. And we'll get some more value. We'll grab a... I guess a Stormscale Scion. It might have been right to just grab Fear of Missing Out. But that's okay. So he's going to lose all of his dudes. And that's fine. We just need to dig for our second Sibsig. And we can probably do that. We can probably do that. If it's not a Sibsig, it gets dumped. Just straight up. We've got a land. I think we Scrapwork Mutt. Dump a torch to the tower. Try to find the Sibsig again. Overlord. Well, I just want to do a lot of damage to you. So we're going to do this. We're going to dump another torch to the tower. We're getting obviously close. To the Sibsig. So we don't really want to Overlord of the Balemurk. We're like halfway through our deck and we've only seen the one. So there are definitely more on the way. Alright, Overlord is active. We're probably going to see like a Sunfall this turn. Which is a bummer, because that means Enduring Courage is gone forever. Nope. Archangel Elspeth. Oh, he still exiled it. That's a bummer. That means it's going to be a little trickier. We don't get to swing in for the win right away if we combo off. But we can still get overwhelming value. So I'm not super concerned about it. We want to try to draw, I think. So we're going to play this. Discard a Stormscale Scion. To get another one. Sure. We'll go 2. We'll go... I think we want to do it now. Do we do 3 to the Archangel? I think we do. Sack this. Draw some cards. Bottom that. Alright. This feels kind of bad. We're probably going to hit a Sibsig. Oh, I knew it! I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. It's okay, though. We'll get our Enduring Courage back. And he'll have to chump block. We'll just win this game the fair way, with constant pressure and aggression. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Taking boys. Sure. Sure, sure, sure. 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're gonna start with this. Do not hit a Sibsig. Don't do it. It was the top card, bro. Oh, it was the top card. That feels so bad. That feels so bad. Alright, well. Dump the Mutt. I mean, I guess we just gotta play the Enduring Courage, right? guess we can't really swing in with the Overlord. Not effectively. Better to hold it back as a potential blocker. Block here. I actually want my Enduring Courage to die so that it doesn't get exiled. So we'll do it like that. Fear of missing out gives us double triggers. We have 8 mana. Another Elspeth. Another Elspeth. I think we can actually win here. Oh no, he gave everything flying. That changes everything. That absolutely changes everything. It's okay though. We'll still make it work. We still have 8 mana. Cast you. Discard a Stormscale Scion. 3, 6. Trying to think what would be better right now. We just have to play this for 0, I guess? Just to up our storm count, right? And then we do this. And I think we still win? I don't know, he's got a lot of lifelink. I guess we'll find out. What do we untap to attack again with? Well, he definitely wants to block the biggest guys, so I think we untap... Well, he would have to double block them then, right? So yeah. We'll just do 2 of the big flyers. And then we get back, I don't know, stuff. Marketback Walker. I think we got him. I'm pretty sure we got him. He gains a lot of life. Yeah, he's still at -7. Good night, Lemon. Good night. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck techs, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.